Hi everyone, this is Shivateja from Einstein Analytics product team. Today let us check a few details around what are different transformations and different icons that are available in Dataflow Designer. So to go to Dataflow Designer, let's click on the gear icon on the top right, click on Data Manager. So we are logged into the Data Manager view. On the left you see data flows and recipes. This is a small setting that is involved in the analytics settings called enable replication. Once that replication is enabled, you will be able to see an option to create a data flow. If not, you can still go ahead and edit the default Salesforce data flow. So let me just create a new data flow. This is the blank data flow canvas designer. On the top you have few options that are available that we'll be discussing right now shortly, and on the right you have a few other icons which we'll be checking further. So starting with a dataset builder, you click on this dataset builder and you'll be entering a dataset name, after which you'll be taken into an interface that allows you to download data from Salesforce objects. So selecting a particular object also allows you to pull the related objects by their Salesforce relationships. Right? Once all of these objects are entered, they form nodes over here, similar to what we'll be seeing in this. So different nodes will be created in this format, and otherwise if you wish to manually add each of the Salesforce object and define your relationships by yourself, you can click on the SFDC digest, which allows you to add the source object from the corresponding Salesforce instance. You can also add different dataset connections from different external API connectors that Salesforce provides, or you can also pull in an existing dataset that is available in ER Analytics Studio. So EdgeMart allows you to pull a dataset and make some modifications within that dataset and update that as a new dataset. Alright. Then we have a few options around append. Append is adding new number of rows. So you add two different nodes that are already present and you create a new node wherein a data is added to each other in terms of rows. So if, for example, the first node has the first data point, or the node has 100 rows and the second node has 50 more rows, if you wish to add these 150 together to form 150 rows, then you use the append transformation. You can also allow disjoint schema, which means the rows, the first set of data and the second set of data need not specifically have the same set of columns. If the column name matches, then the values are added to the same column. If there is no match in the column names, then new columns are created, and the other data where there is no columns are filled with null values. Alright, then we have augment transformation, which is the closest explanation to this could be a join. So we are trying to join different data points. So we are trying to add columns to the existing data over here. So we can have a left source, we can have left key, and we can have a right source and the right key. So when we say key, it is a common key between the left and the right sources, and the columns are added further based on this key that is mentioned. And then we can select the right fields. all of the left fields will be pulled in by default. The right fields will be pulled in based on the values that you present that will be selected over here. A relationship is the relationship ID, which will be appended to the names of the right columns that have been pulled in. Right. There are a few other options that are available here. Compute expression allows you to add new fields that are calculated based on a few logics. So when you click on the new field, you can set the field to either text or numeric or date, and add a SQL, Salesforce Analytics query language, the SQL expression based on existing fields to create new fields. Please note that when you select numeric, you also need to give in the precision scale and the default values that are below this. Alright, so there is a slightly different variant to compute expression, that is compute relative. So where compute expression allows the transformations within the same row across different columns. For example, in my compute expression, if I have field A and field B, I can create a new field C that is numeric, and that is A plus B. So for each row, the A and the B values are added to form the C value. However, for compute relative, you can go across the rows within one column. So you can either set a partition or order by specific columns and add fields over here. So you can either select a source field or a SQL for this purpose as well. And when you select these, you will have to give an expression based on the, you can give expressions like current value plus previous value, or current of this column plus previous of a different column, and set the type to either numeric or text based on the SQL expression. You also have an option to convert a dimension to measure, and give a default value for that measure. And this is seen if dimensions are loaded or numbers are loaded into a data set in a dimension format and you would like to convert it to a measure. Flatten transformation allows you to merge all the values of a column based on a specific condition that is given into one row. So if you have a particular source which has, say, 10 rows in one column, you want to merge all those 10 rows as comma separated values in a single cell, you would select that field as the self field and the multi field, and if you, based on the parent field that is selected, all these rows would be flattened or would be merged into a single cell as comma separated values, and hence the multi-field value over here. You have a filter transformation which allows you to filter the data that you have based on a few conditions or a few based on the parameters that you enter in the filter syntax over here. You also have an option called slice dataset. So over the course of all these transformations, we see that a lot of columns can be added. So the slice dataset allows you to either keep or drop the columns that are mentioned within the option, the search fields over here in the field section over here. So if you would wish to drop a few columns, you can select those fields over here and those would be dropped. You also have an update transformation which updates existing columns based on a condition that is given in the left and the right fields. So if you have two fields, say A and B, and if you wish to update the values of A with the values of B, this transformation is appropriate. There is the SFDC register transformation, which is essential to create any data set. So the register transformation is where we enter the name and the alias of the dataset, and also mention any security predicates or sharing sources if you wish to inherit the sharing from Salesforce, or if you wish to have any security restrictions on the number of rows based on security predicates. In all of these transformations, you can always go and have a look at the output fields, how the fields are being created and what are the fields that are being added. If you also have Einstein discovery license available, you will be able to see the export option, wherein data is exported into Einstein discovery into a particular user's alias. This allows stories to be created in discovery directly from the data that is manipulated or transformed in the analytics studio. There are also few options around the JSON values over here. So a data flow is nothing but a set of rules that are provided to be performed on data. So we're not storing any data in the data flows. So data flow are just specific instructions that are followed step by step, which are available in the JSON format. So all the transformations that are made and all the fields that are selected are available in the JSON format. You can download the JSON. It is always preferable to download a JSON whenever you're making some changes or you wish to have a backup of the JSON. Or if you programmatically edit the JSON, then you can upload the JSON to reflect these changes as well. And if you make any change, you have an option to update the data flow, and once updated, you will be able to run the data flow. Hope this throws some light on different transformations that are available in Dataflow Designer. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.